Wizards' new Challenger decks have both good and bad aspects. The question is, does the good outweigh the bad, and should you buy them? Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles, and welcome to my Challenger deck analysis video. Now, I said before that these were going to ape event decks, and that has been proven to be the case. These are definitely just the new rebirthing of event decks. They've just changed the name to Challenger deck and trotted these out. Now, these are 4 individual 75 card decks that are geared towards standard for the Friday night Magic player and forged out of some of the most powerful strategies in standard. Each Challenger deck comes with a 60 card main deck and 15 card sideboard and is supposed to be playable and competitive at a local level right out of the box. All cards are previously printed in standard and are standard legal. So when you pick one of these up, they're standard legal, good to go, just like the event decks were. So in terms of the build here, actually some of those event decks might not. Anyways, these are all standard legal. Anyhow, the first deck that we're going to be looking at is called the Hazoret Aggro deck. Now, this is built around Chandra and Hazoret, and honestly, this was the first deck I looked at. In terms of value, you get a decent number of rares and mythics with this deck, okay? So, I mean, Chandra obviously is a big value card. So we're going to cover one of the good issues about these decks. One of the good issues about the decks is that these allow access to more singles that people want, which is fantastic, okay? So Chandra, you can get more copies of Chandra because you will know, I can go and buy a copy of this deck, I will get a copy of Chandra. But the other side of this, it will push the prices of Chandra down, that's totally fine, right? That's good for the players and everything. Not the greatest for the health of the game, though, because you need a certain amount of powerful cards to push the sale of boxes, essentially. So these sort of things will start to impact box sales if they have the few chase cards that matter in there, and if they don't, the decks aren't going to be strong enough. The problem they're going to run into is they're going to need to include mythics that are strong enough to make the deck basically playable in a tournament environment, right? Like strong enough to come out of the gate swinging, but that means they're going to have to print the mythics that people want in their deck. So they're going to have to try and walk the balance of making a deck that's strong enough without putting all the best stuff in their set in it, so you just buy the deck instead of the set. So it does have that problem. This is a great way to be able to acquire play sets of certain usable commons and uncommons as well without having to buy a bunch of stuff from the set. Like the lineup of cards in this deck, perfectly fine. You've got Chandra, Hazoret, Soulscar Mages are great, Bomat Courier's great, Kari Zev is absolutely fine. I love Harsh Mentor, Glorybringer's great. Like the card lineup in terms of rares and everything, you're not getting a bad amount of cards. But one of the biggest problems I have with these decks, and we'll address it talking about the next deck because it pushes it even further. And this one, I believe, was created as a personal insult to me. I am known for absolutely hating vehicles. You're going to make a vehicle deck and put it in a purple box, you bastards? Vehicle Rush. This needs to be rushed into the trash can. Alright? So this one's built around things like Heart of Kirin. You've got Bomat Courier, Toolcraft Exemplars, Scrap Heat Scroungers, Pia Nalar, Depala Pilot Exemplars. This is the deck that I take the most issue with out of all 4. And this poses one of the biggest problems with these decks. Look at this deck, guys. You buy this, and this is only legal for 4 months tops, okay? It comes out in April, and the rotation happens in the 4th quarter of the year when the new set comes out. That means Kaladesh and Aether Revolt both get the axe. Now, every single one of these decks has cards that are going to rotate, but this one in particular gets hit hard, and the other one, you lose Chandra. Like, these decks are not going to last for very long. On top of that, what you need to understand is the people who are building these decks are the same people who constructed the standard environment. They think that they perfectly understand it enough to build a deck months and months and months in advance, knowing we know what the meta is going to be. So we're going to release these decks months before the meta's actually been created, because, you know, we created the game, we know the meta, and it's not like we have to ban things every 4 months because we don't understand our game. These packages are being made by the same people who had to do like 3 standard bannings in 1 year. You're buying products that are almost guaranteed to get ban slapped because they're going to put, look, this will be a powerful combo, we created it to be, oops, it's too powerful, we have to roll it back. Like, guys, if they made a deck back then, it would have the Saheeli Rai and Faladar combo in it because they thought that was a perfectly okay combo. They knew it was okay and they let it go by. That's the situation we're looking at. These decks are $30 American, which means all the cards in it combined won't be able to sell on the singles market for more than $30. So this will push the price of singles down, which I like. Make cards more available. But the decks aren't going to suit the actual purpose they were designed for. Next up, we've got the Challenger deck, Second Sun Control. Because we all know that Approach of the Second Sun's killing it now. I mean, I remember when it was a $4 card, and guess what it is now? It's 50 fucking cents. Great. And guess what? This deck is coming 2 months down the road. Second Sun will still be tearing it up, I'm sure, in April. Give me a break. You got Catharinenes, 3 Approaches of the Second Sun, 3 Fumigates, Settle the Wreckage. This one's not as bad in terms of getting nailed by rotation, okay? That's another thing, guys. If you're going to buy these decks, take a look at what cards are in it and what sets they're from so you know which decks are going to get raped by rotation. Because this deck, honestly, is only going to lose a few things like Aether, Meltdown. It's not losing huge cards. This deck will remain mostly unscathed. Again, it's going to be it's built around Approach of the Second Sun, and this is not strong enough to win. But it's a great way to get things like if you need a playset of Opts, Censor, Supreme Wills, like if you're looking to play a blue deck and you're not even... These decks are useless for their particular purpose. For what they were designed for, they're useless. But they do serve a purpose of getting cards into people's hands. The last deck is the Challenger deck Counter Surge. This one is a black-green build, and it is built around using cards like Winding Constrictor, Glint Sieve Siphoner, Scrap Heap Scrounger, Walking Ballista. Again, Rishikar, Pima Renegade. There's so much of this built into the Kaladesh block. It's absolutely insulting. This feels like an event deck cash grab. If they continue to do things this way, then it'd be like, oh, we can put cards like Chandran near the end of their life cycle. It's absurd. I do not trust for a second that the creators of the game who can't, like, guys, they can't keep Standard healthy. And these are the ones who are going to go, we can predict what Standard's going to be in X months. Here's the deck that's going to keep you competitive. I don't buy it. Aside from getting these for a singles, this product is a no-go ripoff. Do not buy. Thumbs down. It's an MTG purple fuck no. Thanks for coming by, checking out my quick product analysis. On another note, yes, my hair is blondish right now because I'm in the process of going back to purple. I wasn't planning on doing this today, but the list came out and I was so insulted that before I even left my house to go and get a cup of tea and start my day, I set this up so we could talk about it because these products are garbage. So, thanks for coming by. We'll see you next time, guys.
Together, we are the sixth color of magic.